Now it's my great honor to introduce Meg Mullin, head of the Luskin Center for Innovation.
Thanks, Matt, and thanks to all the fantastic commissioners. Thank you to Supervisor Horvath, to EVCP Hunt, and to the community members and the fire survivors who are providing such leadership in a time of real trauma in leading their communities to recovery. I'm here representing many dozens of people who mobilized at lightning speed in academic time to partner with the Commission and support its work in defining a pathway for the region's recovery and long-term resilience. The work of this Commission touched so many issues, from insurance to infrastructure, from debris removal to defensible space, from workforce housing to meeting the needs of the most vulnerable fire survivors. And the commissioners brought an incredible range of professional experience and expertise to considering these issues. Our role at UCLA was twofold. First, it was to make sure that commissioners had access to the best available academic research on the questions that they were considering. And the second was to leverage UCLA's real strength and experience with community engagement to bring the knowledge and vision and leadership of fire survivors to inform the Commission's recommendations. The core team at UCLA that organized this work came from the Luskin Center for Innovation, a fantastic group, but I'm happy to work with, the Emmett Institute at UCLA School of Law, and the Sustainable LA Grand Challenge. But this effort reached across campus and far beyond as scholars made themselves available to the Commission from across the United States, always on short notice, to offer suggestions, answer questions, summarize the science, and ultimately review our work and tell us what we missed and how we could improve it. I also want to highlight the really important contributions of student members of our team who just demonstrated the extraordinary talent that UCLA recruits and nurtures. An overview of the information that we compiled appears as the second half of this big report. And the material provides important context for the recommendations that the Commission landed on. It highlights where research knowledge is well established. It highlights where scientific debates are still underway. And it highlights where critical questions are really not about the science, but instead about values and priorities. It also reports on the goals and the concerns expressed by community members that we heard at the dozens of meetings and events we attended and at the convenings we helped establish with our partners at Department of Angels between fire survivors and commissioners. There's a lot in the report. You've heard about some of this already. I'm just going to highlight two lessons from the work that UCLA contributed. And the first relates to the Commission's recommendation for a rebuilding authority that you just heard about. And here the research is clear. Managing disaster recovery in urban settings requires an extraordinary form of government performance to provide strong leadership and deep technical expertise, to coordinate across jurisdictions, and to fully engage affected communities by supporting and building on community-led efforts. Rebuilding quickly and rebuilding resiliently do not have to be in tension with one another. Through the right incentives, through funding tools, through streamlining the right things, we can get people to move back to their homes quickly and safely, and to their workplaces as well. But government needs to restore trust in order to do this. It needs to restore trust with people who told us that their confidence in government has been undermined by the losses that they've experienced. After other disasters throughout the United States, under a variety of conditions, where entities have been empowered to fully lead recovery, and where they've been held accountable to communities, recovery outcomes have been better. The second lesson is about preparing for future fire. Our region is just beginning to understand the severity of the danger we're facing as climate change pushes wildfires into our urban communities. And the science is advancing with each of our tragic experiences with this new form of fire. We don't yet have every answer to how best to protect ourselves, but that doesn't need to stand in the way of action. Many of the most effective measures to protect ourselves are well established, and they're relatively easy to implement if we have the right funding, if we have the right incentives. For other measures, we can take initial steps and we can build institutions that incorporate new knowledge and adapt our approaches as the science advances. But ultimately, research is only going to take us so far. And we Angelenos need to have conversations about how we weigh fire risk against other risks and how much we're willing to pay to reduce that risk. The Commission's recommendations have launched us into that conversation. And in our conversations with communities, we heard ready willingness from fire survivors to think seriously about the challenges and opportunities for fire resilience going forward. Our team at UCLA has been honored to be part of this effort. We stand ready to continue our work in providing research and connecting with communities to support our region's collective long-term well-being. Thanks.